Now just read the note with me, Malat. It'll all be clear. Malat, kindly come to Roman 2. That's page 2 of the note. To justify from the protection of the Act. I'm sorry, Justice Messi. Yes. Page 2, Malat, on the left-hand side, Roman 2. To justify the ouster of unregistered Waqf by user from the protection of the Act, the Union contends that there has been a consistently mandated legislative intent of registration for all Waqf, including Waqf by user, since 1923. Exactly what my Lord said to me. And that affording protection to unregistered Waqf by user puts a premium on those who have been defying the law of the land since more than 100 years. This contention must be rejected. The statutory consequence of non-registration of Waqfs under the Acts of 23, 54, 95, 2013 has never taken away the title of the Waqf. Mandatory nature of the requirement to furnish details or register the Waqf was limited to penalties being visited. This argument we've already made. Well, let's forget this argument for a while. Now come on. Statements of objects and reasons of the Mussalman Waqf Act 23 shows that the requirement of disclosure of Waqf properties to the court was introduced because, in some cases, difficulties have arisen in finding out whether any particular properties are really subject to Waqf or not. There are numerous Waqf properties all over the country, unknown to the public, which the Muttawallis are treating their own private property and dealing with in any way they think fit or necessary. Therefore, it is clear that the evil that the 23 Act sought to remedy was that of unscrupulous Muttawallis evading public disclosure to escape accountability. This system was still dependent on the Muttawallis voluntarily registering the Waqfs. And therefore, the Waqf Act of 54 introduced, now this is the important thing, Section 4 and 5, which required the state to conduct a survey and register Waqf properties, thereby placing the onus on state governments to identify Waqf properties. This was continued in the Waqf Act of 1995. In addition, Waqf boards were given the power under Section 40 to identify Waqf properties which escaped survey, which has been abolished now. Section 40 goes. Now it's with the collector. Survey has been abolished. Well, just look at the egregious nature of this legislation. Despite this, it was noted in the statements of objects and reasons of the Waqf Act of 2013. There is no time limit fixed in the Act for completion of such surveys. So far, only one state has completed the survey. Well, this is the most important factual statement. In other words, from 1954 to 2013, only one state had completed the survey. Whose fault is it? Muttawallis. This is your legislation. And how does a person who is enjoying the benefit of the work find out whether it's Waqf property? What is this going on? So the community will be deprived because the surveys are not done by the state government. And now you will say because it's not registered, it's not a Waqf. Back to my submissions, kindly take volume 1 of the preliminary counter affidavit that the state government has filed. Just volume 1. Yeah, I'll come to that. I'll show that. Correct.
Yes. Page?
Page 158. There's a chart, your lordships have to turn it around. It says annexure R1.
158.
Yes, 158. Lordship has the chart? Yes. Just an idea, Malas. In state, for example, Telangana. We know, Malas, Telangana very well, Malas, as to how much how many members of the community live there. Number of properties registered in 2013, 0.
Went for registration.
0.
So nobody went for registration.
If you don't mind, again, will you? I don't know why you are interfering. Why should you? You should not say all this. Worried.
Yeah.
So, Malas, therefore, 0. Who has not registered them? the survey commissioners, not done their job. And now the 2025 Act says, we didn't do our job, so you've lost your right. That's the law. Is that reasonable? Isn't it per se unconstitutional? No, there are many such instances. Take, for example, Jammu Kashmir 1. Take Delhi Waqf Board 9. Percentage increase 1,153. Obviously, there will be, because you haven't done your job. Third from the bottom, Shia Central Waqf Board 0. In Uttar Pradesh, 0, Malads. Imbabara, famous Imbabara, will go. Doesn't exist now. Malads, just see the serious consequences of all this. And all this, my counter affidavit says this.
I must come in here, my lord.
Please, please.
My learned friend is saying something fresh.
Your
Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
No, I'm
so that
sorry.
we will
I'm
not
sorry. I'm sorry.
taken
I'm
for
sorry.
a ride,
I'm
not
not-
unnecessary.
Isn't rejoinder?
Yes, sir.
This is on Vamsi portal.
I'm coming.
Most of the boards
If you-
have not
I'm
updated
sorry.
figures in Vamsi portal.
Why are you interrupting him?
Please allow me to answer.
This.
We did not permit them to.
I did not allow me, Wallace. Allow me. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. You make all kinds of statements and you say, we have misled the court. Every time, Wallace, every other half an hour, you would say, I'm sorry to say they misled the court.
But then there are also states where.
No, kindly see the second column.
Look, Mehta, please, please control yourself. We are telling you time and again that don't try to compute with that young girl assisting Mr. Sibal and disturbing him.
I'm not saying no, but Milad, the question is, and see the last report.
No, but you see, there are states wherein, like,
Therefore, there may be many more. Milad, I'm pointing.
Tamil Nadu is, Tamil Nadu, Punjab,
Maharashtra, 50,000.
Maharashtra,
Yeah, but there may be many more.
Kerala.
Milad, works are all over the state, all over the country. And those may be voluntary registrations. Because only one state had done. Kindly see the latest Vamsi report at page 63 of the rejoinder affidavit, or my rejoinder, 276 of 2025. I mean, this is shocking.
This is as of 2000.
And this is also 2013, Manoj, as of 2013. Sorry, I'm sorry. It is a rejoinder affidavit 276 of 2025 lead matter, page 63. Because I need to finish because others have to speak. Manoj, therefore
So therefore, we are not interrupting you much.
you are not, Manoj. I'm just saying. I'm trying to be fast and not going to all the other issues.
Because we have to conclude.
You have been very kind, Manoj. Yes.
I think there has been least interruption from.
That's true. That is true.
Unless it was.
Well, we cannot blame you for that, Manoj.
Unless it was really necessary.
And then on this chart, they have themselves made submission at page 7 of the counter. They have themselves made this submission, saying that, look, our people did not work. We'll come back? Okay. Now we'll come back now.
Yes, we can proceed and ask someone to find it out.
Okay, Manas. All right. While they find it. Now, Manas, kindly see.
We have to conclude.
Yes, before we'll conclude, Manas. No issue at all. Because now, Manas, kindly read one judgment of Justice Fazal Ali. Give me that judgment.
2 hours in the Jordan?
It's here.
What side we curtailed me not 2 hours in the Jordan?
Kindly. Now, this is 1976 4 SCC, page 780.
1976.
1976 4 SCC 780, para 36 and 39. Yes. Now, kindly see. Yes, 36 and 39.
480, Bharat 36 and 59. निकालें फोन में मैं भी इसमें निकालता हूँ
At page 803, starts at 780, at 803, para 36.
नहीं हो सकता पेज
Page. 603.
Yes.
Amir Ali in his book Mohammedan Law has given several instances of a complete and irrevocable dedication made by the Waqif or the founder and the consequences flowing from the same. Amir Ali observed as follows: the proprietary right of the Waqif is a building or ground set apart for prayers becomes extinguished either on the declaration of the Waqif that he has constituted is as a mosque or a musalla, or consecrated it for worship, or on the performance of prayers therein on thereon. Thus, the moment a building is set apart for offering prayers, the proprietary right of the Waqif is completely extinguished. Similarly, the following observations of the author indicate the various contingencies in which a dedication can be made to a public mosque. Kindly see, Mullahs, the second paragraph. When a mosque is erected, that one was. When a mosque is erected or set up inside a dwelling house or residence, and permission is granted to the public to come and pray, and a pathway is also made or set apart for their egress and ingress, the dedication is good by general consensus. If a pathway is not indicated in that case, according to Abu Hanifa, the dedication is not sufficient. But according to Abu Yusuf and Muhammad, it is good, and the pathway will be implied by the permission to pray, and this is correct. Now the last two paragraphs. If prayers are offered once in a mosque, it is difficult to constitute a good dedication. According to Qazi Khan, the delivery of possession as regards the masjid is complete when one person is prayed in it, and azan and his iqamat. The view universally adopted is that prayers offered by one person in a mosque is sufficient to constitute it as a public mosque devoted to the worship of God. For a mosque belongs to the deity, and there affixes to it a right of the Muslims in general, and one person can be a proxy for the establishment of the right of the Creator and the public. Therefore, if a person creates a mosque and gives permission to people to pray therein, it is an absolute waqf, and this opinion we adopt. Now, the observations of the learned author are based on Radul Mukhtar and other original religious books which contain law on the subject.
So no difficulty on this. Even the Privy Council, on which Mr. Dwivedi
Yes.
Relied,
Right.
also says that the land which was permitted by Hindu zamindar
Correct.
To be constructed for mosque,
Yes.
and by prescription,
Yes.
though there was no written document or something,
Correct.
but long user made it.
That's precisely the point, Mala. So long user will make it a waqf.
Yeah, but if suppose on a government property.
No, government property also. I'll give you an example. But we have several examples. I can say so myself. What happens is that a community goes to the government and says, we need a burial ground. We need a burial ground. We don't have any. So, in fact, the government itself allots it. I know for a fact. And it is used for 100, 200 years. No limitation will apply to them. After 200 years, they'll say, no, this is our property. We'll build a commercial complex on it. What will happen? Because the moment it is used as a burial ground, it's a religious activity. In Noida. So the point is not that.
Everywhere it is, at every place.
Correct. And Mullah, these are not
sometimes. I don't think that the government is a.
Yes. No, it can be government, it may not be government.
Then at all such cases, I think most of them must have registered themselves as a.
No, but that is what these are not isolated. I'm talking about hundreds of properties all over the country who nobody would know till you do a survey. And who is, I can't, supposing I'm a devotee, how will I know? I will not know. Nawazi will also not know.
Nawazi?
Namazi Mullah, he will also not know. He will also know he's offering prayer only. All the records are not with us. There are 39, para 39, read this, Mullah. It's very important. So, point is, you can't by legislative fear just extinguish everything. 39. It would thus appear that in order to create a valid dedication of a public nature, the following conditions must be satisfied. That the founder must declare his intention to dedicate a property for the purpose of a mosque. No particular form of declaration is necessary. The declaration can be presumed from the conduct of the founder, either express or implied. That the founder must divest himself completely from the ownership of the property. The divestment can be inferred from the fact that he had delivered possession to the mutawalli or an imam of the mosque. Even if there is no actual delivery of possession, the mere fact that members of the Mohammedan public are permitted to offer prayers with azan and iqamat, the waqf is complete and irrevocable. And
That's what the Privy Council also.
correct. So,
Even the provisions of the law,
correct.
which have been taken to us, they also say that not only documents but other things are, other particulars could have been provided
Correct.
for registration.
And the point I'm making is, if I have used this now for 100 years, 200 years, 50 years, and this is my religious activity, then how can they take it back? Limitation has to apply also. There is no limitation that applies to them. They can take it at any point in time because they say this is my property under 3C.
Yes, we'll consider that.
Yes, so very, very serious consequences. Now, Malas. Now, I want to show the, I was in para 8 of the note, if you also don't mind. By page 3, para 8. Despite this, it was noted in the statements of objects and reasons of the Waqf of 2013, there is no time limit fixed in the Act for completion of such surveys. So far, only one state has completed the survey. This survey was still not being carried out by some state governments, such as Gujarat and Uttarakhand. Even now, this is in 2020. This is 2025. So there is no waqf in Gujarat and there is no waqf in Uttarakhand. Is that the argument? And because it is not registered, they'll all be taken away by the government? Yes, yes.
Please maintain your cool. If you want, we'll increase or decrease the temperature.
Then he says, it is therefore clear that non-registration of waqf properties that have continued unregistered is partly on account of the unscrupulous mutawallis and more prominently on account of the failure of the state governments to conduct a survey as mandated by the Act, despite a lapse of 17 years since this mandatory obligation was imposed on state governments. Your Lordship asked me the question, I told you, Mother, I have an answer to it. And this is the answer. This is a state responsibility by statute, which they accept they did not discharge. And then they say, because we did not discharge our responsibility, therefore, if it is not registered, you have no right. It's an unacceptable proposition of law. You can't take advantage of your own wrong through a legislative fiat. Then the argument that unregistered works by user can now be excluded. User can now be excluded as over time of over 100 years to register waqf amounts to punishing the larger Muslim community, the beneficiaries of a waqf for its failure of the state government. Naturally, a number of waqfs by user do not have appointed mutawallis, since the original instructions of the waqf are no longer known. And hence, there would be no person who can be charged with the primary responsibility of registering the waqf. It is also meaningless to argue that individual beneficiaries of a waqf can also file an application for registration. Beneficiaries of the waqf, such as namazis in a masjid or zaireen in a dargah, are merely visitors and will typically not be aware of the registration status of that place of worship. It cannot be settled. Suddenly, they won't be able to go. It is for this reason that both times that a proposal was introduced to deny legal protection to waqfs for failure to register, and the same was omitted on the opposition of the Muslim community. My learned friend made a point of that. Who opposed? Of course they would oppose. They were being punished for the state's wrong, Malad. This is seen in the non-implementation of the proposed Section 55E, Malad, which he pointed out. Sought to be introduced in the Waqf Amendment Act of 84. This can be seen in a statement of objects and reasons of 95, which mentions the provisions of 84 Act could not be enforced because strong opposition to its various provisions came from the Muslim community. The second attempt to introduce such a provision was Bay of 87, which was omitted in 2013 due to the opposition. Finally, the contention of the Union is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of waqf by user. A waqf by user is not a waqf created by use of non-waqf property as a waqf. Waqf by user is a rule of evidence by which a waqf whose documents on proof of dedication have been lost by passage of time proves that it is a waqf. Depriving a waqf by user status on account of its non-registration or making its status contingent on such registration is directly in the teeth of the Constitution bench. And so just read 1134 because I don't want to read it, no time. Our jurisprudence recognizes the principle of waqf by user even absent an express deed of dedication or declaration. This is a Constitution bench judgment. How can the legislature go against that judgment and say there is going to be no waqf by user because it's not registered? Whether or not properties are waqf property by long use is a matter of evidence. The test is whether the property has been used for public religious worship by those professing Islamic faith. It's a burial ground or it's a mosque.
Oh, you are saying that there is a direct judgment which says that registration is not necessary.
Yes, there's the Constitution that I showed your lordships. W128 itself says so. 113.